Hey, so this week we have a special guest. I am excited to finally put this together. We had been in touch back and forth for a while, and we finally made it happen. And the conversation was so dope, so open, mostly transparent, no, very vulnerable. And so enjoy what this conversation was. I really prayed for God to use me and for Him to show me how He wanted this to be, and He did just that. So I'm going to split it up into three different parts, but enjoy this conversation. Hello.
Hi,
How are you?
I'm good, thanks. What's up?
Ah, you were always awkward, I remember.
I'm awkward.
Yes,
Okay.
slightly.
Why? What's the problem?
There's no problem at all. But
Okay.
you came on like, I don't know what's happening, but hello?
Well, I'm kind of multitasking here, so
Oh.
you're gonna have to kind of bear with me a little bit.
So you mean I don't have your undivided attention?
Uh it's not divided, but I'm here. But it's yeah, like I don't know if you know, but I'm working from home, so there's that. I might have to put you on hold for a couple minutes, but it should be fine.
Okay.
And
How have you been? It's been a minute.
I'm here, surviving.
Wow, that's how life is for you.
Well, I say surviving, but yeah, every day above ground is a good one, right?
I mean, yes.
And
But we're
and
also not meant to just be here just to survive. Like,
it's a thing I say, right? I'm not just surviving.
I know, I know, I know.
I'm alive. I'm happy to be alive, and everything else kind of gets handled as best as I can handle it, right?
Hmm.
You think?
So, what made you want to jump on this recording with me, knowing nothing about anything?
Oh, well, because you asked me, right?
I mean, I did.
And I've done one of these before. Like not what you're doing, I'm sure, but I've done a podcast before, and it was interesting conversation, interesting person, and you know, I'm not above having a conversation with anyone about anything. It's
Fair. Okay. Well, I'm glad you're here for the conversation. Um, I've been going through this space of wanting to just talk to people who I know speak, but talk about emotions, talk about grief, talk about healing. Um, and I also wanted to get a more, well, I don't say manly, but a men's perspective, essentially. Um, I've been building out a mentorship program, and I had already workshopped this with men in jail, and I absolutely loved it. Like they crushed it. They made me feel so welcomed. And just going through these basic topics, I realized how pivotal it was to men in general, even more so to a population that didn't really get this type of conversation. But it really like put a fire in my heart to have open conversation with men about life because I don't think there is. I know there's some, but I don't think there's many safe spaces where they feel like they can come, they can talk, and they can be open without being belittled or expected just to like know everything. You know what I'm saying? So, um, I know you're wondering what this conversation is going to be about today. And honestly, there's a couple different angles that we can go with it. Talk about life, talk about emotions, and we can also talk about how we met.
oh wow, okay, we could do that, sure.
Now, You are in the book. Have you read the chapter
No,
or the part in the book?
I have not. No, I have not.
Interesting. Is there a reason?
I time. I honestly, there's a bunch of books that I intend to acquire and read. Yours is
Mm-hmm.
among them, and I just I got a lot on my plate at the
Oh.
moment. So
So you just
soon
didn't
as
want to know what I said about you.
no, I'm actually I'm quite curious. I didn't want to bootleg or chapter hop, right? Like I want to get to a place where I'm reading more, and I'm starting to do that. But like I said, it's just one of those I'll get around to it, but I'm never getting around to it. But I will eventually. Like there's things in place now, plans are moving, and once I get to a certain space, for sure I'll unless you want to tell me what it is or read it
Nope.
to me, then
Mm-mm.
that's fine. It's not.
Mm-mm. You will see it when you get there. Also because
Hmm.
since we're here speaking, I don't want to give nothing away. For anybody
Okay.
who hasn't read it, they may or may not understand who you are in the book. And I
Oh,
kind of like that mystery part of it,
okay.
just a little bit.
All right. Well, so my name isn't in the book then, I assume.
Nobody's name's in the book.
There you go. So
Everybody's name was changed in the book for a specific
it'll
reason.
there's probably one or two people that may or may not hear this that would know exactly who I am in your book, should they read it. But I'm not a famous person by any means, right? So
Uh huh.
I think that'll be fine.
So how do we meet from your perspective? Because everybody knows my
Um,
perspective when they read the book. So how do we meet from your perspective?
I met you at work, is
Uh
how
huh.
I would say it.
Oh,
I was working anyways. I met you through my job.
nice. And how do we become friends?
Hmm. I don't know. We talked while I worked and yada yada yada. I don't really want to answer that, to be honest. It is we actually I'll answer. Your good conversation and beyond professional or whatever, it seemed at the time like a good idea to, exchange information, exchange numbers, and that's what we did. And we spoke a few times and sort of in again, out again through life experiences. You've gone through a lot. I've gone through my share of stuff, but we kind of remained socially connected in that
Mm-hmm.
sense. And yeah, it is what it is. You know, lose touch, we get back in touch. I follow you on Instagram, you follow me, I follow you on, I think, Facebook and other platforms as well.
Mm-hmm.
So even without direct texting or whatever, we still sort of stay abreast of what's
Connected.
going on in each, yeah, connected in that
Mm-hmm.
sense, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And so, like, for where you were then to where you are now, how would you say
Hmm.
it's like progressed for you, like life in
And
general?
well, I'm a lot older, so I've aged, I guess. Um, and like I said, a lot of life has happened, a lot of loss of life. Like I've lost quite a few people um within my circle,
Mm-hmm.
um, very close, near and dear people, I would say.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and I've met some new folks between that time and now. I know four people that weren't around then. I have four
Mm-hmm.
new people in my life. Actually, five.
Ooh,
My children and my sister had her daughter. So
nice.
there's a lot of death. There's a lot of birth. and some weddings sprinkled in there somewhere.
Oh, awesome. I mean, weddings
Mm.
always signify like beauty and love and um just a really good time. But are you open to talking about the loss at all?
Um,
Just more so like not who they were or how they passed, nothing like that, but like more so how it affected you.
you know what? Yeah, I'm open to doing that because one particularly I didn't really, I guess, grieve properly because it was a particularly close person. My father, he passed, and
Oh, I'm sorry.
there's there's a lot of things going on. Yeah, it's about almost 10 years ago now.
Mm.
2014, I think.
Oh, the same year as my
2014.
son.
Yeah.
Got it.
So that happened, and it was 2014. No, 2016. Um,
Okay.
dates are kind of all over
2
my
years
head, but
after.
yeah,
I mean, it always is. You're just like, wait, how many
20,
years has it
20.
been? Like, I just celebrated my son's 17th birthday, and I had to like use a calculator to calculate it because I'm like,
Yeah,
how old would he have been? So I get
yeah,
it. When they're not here, it's a different type of memory that you have to kind of like hold in place, and so it doesn't always feel like we're connected to them, yet we are still connected to them. And I think that's incredibly powerful, and that's something that only people only understand when they go through grief or when they go through any type of loss. Um,
right.
so when it comes to like how have you been able to manage your emotions concerning loss and like getting through, like did you do therapy, what are some of the tools that you used to get to healing, or
Um,
are you even healed?
well, with that in one in particular, like I did have to speak with someone, so I did go to a counselor for a bit, and yeah, she helped me through it. I'll say. I
That's
don't want to
good.
get too specific, but yeah, that's how I kind of realized I didn't grieve properly in that whole thing because it affected me in a way that I certainly didn't anticipate. Up to that point, like I was in my 30s, I would say, when it
Hmm.
happened,
Hmm.
and um, by that point, I'd been to a number of funerals. It was just like this is something that happens but never that close, right? So
Right.
this is like the first immediate connection that hit me, and it was just like years after I sat around just and like if I'm by myself, it would hit me, or if I'm doing something specific to his memory, it would hit me, and I'm like, no, this isn't, you know, something's off here. So I spoke with someone, worked through the emotions of it all, and she gave me some ways to work through it, and I some exercises, I guess, and I did those and properly processed what it was that I was dealing with, and
Hmm.
I wouldn't say I'm better because he's still not here. So it's in my mind, it's like, well, you cope every day, but it's not gonna undo what's been done, right?
Right.
Which would be to me the ultimate. Okay, if I'm grieving the loss of someone, having them back would sort of be like the cure, which obviously that can't happen. So it's never a cure or a better, right? Like you'll never get better from the loss. It's just okay. He's he or she or whoever they may be are no longer here,
Hmm.
and you live life, right?
So you feel
Like
like you
you
just
can't.
get to a place of peace with it?
Yeah, yeah, pretty much. I would say that's what it is.
I mean, that's good because I've heard a lot of people say like grief never goes away, it's just always here, and I'm always so cautious about people saying that because I'm like, because we know, or we should know, that our words are powerful. When
Hmm.
we say that grief is always here, then we're essentially saying that it just never goes away and we're always going to live with this kind of like crutch. when we don't have
Well,
to.
it's like I said, right? In a very plainly put way, the only cure for the death of someone is to have that person not die, right? Or to have them back. So in that sense, you will never have the person back. They're gone. Like that can't be undone.
Hmm.
Best as we can try or whatever. It's just
That's just how it is. Um, but we also get to, like, for me, sure, I would love to have my son back, but at the same time, I understand that until Jesus comes back, that's not happening. And in the meantime, I'm not gonna live with a crutch. I'm not gonna live my life like I'm at a disadvantage. I'm not gonna live my life like something's missing. I'm gonna live it to the fullest, like I would if he was here. And I think that's just the difference that I've placed in my mind of how to manage it.
yeah,
Um,
and that's part of the living with it, the coping, right? So, but your feelings towards the because that's what I consider grief to be, like how you feel about losing that person, right?
mm,
Those feelings aren't gonna just dry up and you're not gonna have them anymore because
right,
it's your son. He meant what he meant to you. It's my father. He's gonna be my father till I'm no longer here,
right,
right? So whatever he meant to me, whatever feelings of losing that are still gonna, even below the surface, even if I become the most adjusted with the idea of, yeah, whoever is not here anymore, it's still whatever that person represented in my life. When I hear their name, when I see their face, their picture,
mm-hmm,
their some obscure reference, if there's a more favorite place we used to go,
right,
that that maybe not the grief, but the memory stays with you.
right.
And as long as the memory is with you, you're going to have something to feel about them not being here. That's just, to me, that's just a fact of life, right?
Yeah, I prefer memories. To
Yeah.
live in the memories. But so I'm curious, for you seeking help, did it get to a place that it was, well, I mean, you kind of did mention that. It got to a place where it was you feeling that something was off. But did
Yep.
it have to get to that place for you to seek help, or were you thinking along the way I should and was just like not
You
sure
know,
if you
you
wanted
know
to?
what? In retrospect, it never struck me like that. To be
Hmm.
honest, it was because I don't want to get too deep into it because it's a very personal story
Of
and
course.
there's like family involved and stuff. But whatever. Um, just to kind of give you an idea, I was at work when I got the call saying he had passed on. They didn't say it over the phone. They said, "We need you to come, all the family, whatever, whatever." He was in the hospital.
Right.
And I went back to work the next day and just threw myself
Ooh.
into work
Yeah.
and never stopped and never like, yeah, we cried, we this, but I just for it happened 2016, and for the next um 2019, next 3 4 years after he passed, I
Mm.
was just go 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 do this, do the next thing, the next thing, the next thing, the next thing, and
Mm-hmm.
never really um sat down and said, wow, and processed all of what was happening. Things were just happening, and I was pushing forward, pushing
Right.
forward, and
Because it's kind of just easier to experience life than to actually have to face the truth of what's happening around us.
right. And so there was I actually took time off of work for a private reason, nothing crazy, but I had taken like maybe 4 or 5 months off work,
Mm.
and for the first time in a long time, I well, I'll tell you why I took off work. I was on parental leave because that explains like why I came to the place I was in.
Right. Okay.
For the first time in a long time, I was in a place just by myself with my thoughts. I
Okay.
didn't have anything to do. I didn't have anyone to talk to. I didn't have, you know, the entertainment was just like white noise in the background, like TV, movies, whatever. I was just sitting in my apartment with my baby. Lady's gone. The other two kids, they're at school, and
Mm-hmm.
it's just me alone with my thinking. And it's like, why do I feel like this? Right?
Mm.
And it happened a few times. It's like, no, something, that's where I said something's off because when everyone's around, when I'm working, when I'm just go, 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 this doesn't happen. Like I don't feel any kind of sadness or like that there's something's not right here.
Right.
And and then I brought that to my spouse, my wife, and I'm like, yeah, this keeps happening and XYZ, and she's like, you probably should see somebody about that because that sounds like you're not processing something properly.
Right.
And yeah, we could talk about it, but I don't know what is going on. So, and that's when I decided I would go that route, right?
Fair. Stay tuned for part two. Hey, thank you so much for listening to the Lips and Language podcast. My name is Cola. I am so excited that you are here. If anything I said today resonated, then get in touch with me. I have an amazing mentorship program. It is for those who feel misunderstood, overwhelmed, going through grief. It is truly an amazing time. If you want more info, hit my website, lipsandlanguage.com. And if you want to get in touch with me, you can hit it up on the website or DM me. I have a free gift for you, and I would love to be in contact with you. Whatever you decide, just know that healing, it looks good on you. And I'm so excited that we get to do this journey together. Have a blessed day. And if nobody told you, I will. I love you. Enjoy your day, and we'll talk soon. Peace.